Before diving into this algebraic fraction topic, it's going to be a long one, I'm telling you, because it involves a lot of practice. Like fractions in normal numerical way, you do have to do a lot of practice. When you add in algebra, which is an unknown in there, unknown, the pun like it makes everything so much more complex, so much more difficult. So before diving in, talk about this meme in here. It sounds, it looks very silly, very, very goofy, but it was like me as a kid. When a teacher asked me some random question, I would just answer some random goofy answers. But yeah, so that's just me. Anyway, let's have a dive into the algebraic fractions. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to do adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing algebraic fractions. You'll need to have a lot of basic knowledge, algebra skills, and fractional skills in order to do well in this topic. So I'll provide you a bit of hints and tricks how to do them well in algebraic fractions. What you want to do is mainly you want to have a common denominator when you add and subtract, and factorizing. Factorizing key skill, because factorizing allows you to cancel down the fraction much more easily, much more in a much more doable size, and things will get easier if you factorize them before you do any manipulations. Then we learn how to solve equations that contain algebraic fractions. So to solve equation with algebraic fractions, you do need to know how to simplify them, and then you can do them. So before you start, have a go at the starter questions below, and when you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. For question 1, a simple fraction, you shouldn't have too much difficulty to work it out. Question 2, expanding brackets. Question 3, expanding double brackets, but this time 2 terms. With the negative in there, you must put a bracket when you do expansion, because the negative will affect all the signs inside the bracket. So it becomes, you can see, all the positive inside the bracket becomes a negative. And here's your answer for question 3. For question 4, factorizing, you need a product, two numbers that multiply give you negative 14 and add to give you minus 5. So it'll be minus 7 and 2. You put it inside a bracket. And question 5, this about factorizing harder quadratics. I will put you should see a little memo in here to tell you which topic does each of these questions belong to. So if you struggle with any of these questions, you can go back to the corresponding video. Okay? The first example, we're going to learn how to add and subtract linear algebraic fractions. Linear means the power is going to be 1. When you don't have to factorize anything, yeah. So adding, subtracting linear fraction is like having like two people when they first meet. Whether you can become friends or not, you must have a common thing that you like or you both dislike. For example, you both like to play, say, gaming. Then obviously straight away you have a common thing that you like and you become friends straight away. Or common thing you hate. Maybe a teacher both of you really hate. A math teacher make a lesson really, really sleepy and boring. Yeah, then you become friends straight away because you can complain about the teacher for the whole break time, for the whole lunch time, every single day, 24/7.
That's true.
So anyway, I've dragged it way too far. To add a fraction, simply we just need a common denominator, like a common thing that you both like or dislike. So question A, to add these two fractions, the common denominator will be out of 35, right? Because 5 and 7 will be the common denominator with 35. So you multiply first fraction by 7, becomes 7x. Multiply second fraction by 5, 10x. Add them up together, 17x over 35. Nothing we can simplify because 17 doesn't go into 35. Job done. Moving on to part B. Let me rewrite the question. If you don't know me, I've got a little weird habit of rewriting question again. So before we begin, I want you to pause the video, answer this question. What is the common denominator in here? Is it 8x or is it 4x? And why? The answer for this one, the best answer would be 4x. Actually, both answers would be correct, but the best answer is 4x. You want to find the lowest common multiple between the two numbers. In this case, 8 and 16 will be 16. And in 4 and 2x, it will just be 4x. Because 2 and 4 common denominator is 4, the lowest common multiple, and x and without x will need an x and denominator. So it'll be both will be out of 4x. Both out 4x. Now, once we know that, then we can just look at the denominator and see what we need to multiply each fraction by. So first fraction, comparing 4 and 4x, we need to multiply by and x. So we need to multiply it by an extra x. For second denominator, 2x and 4x, we need to multiply by 2. So xy times x is x squared y. 2x minus 3 times 2 is 4x minus 6. Once we've got a common denominator, then we can put them together. So it'll be x squared y plus 4x minus 6, and that will be our final answer. Can't simplify anything. Question C. 3x plus 1 minus x minus 7. Again, 2 and 3, common denominator. Oh, before I start, let me rewrite the question. You know me. So I need to make it both out 6. So to get 2 to 6, I need to multiply by 3. So 9x plus 3. To get 3 to 6, I need to multiply by 2. 2x minus 14. So then, now when you do subtraction, be careful. I will put a bracket. When you do your subtraction, you put a bracket in there. The reason being is the minus, as I said, will change the sign inside the bracket. So 9x plus 3 numerator minus, and a positive makes a minus, minus makes a positive 14 over 6. Subtract and simplify the like terms. 9x minus 2x, 7x. 3 plus 14 plus 17 over 6. All right. Last but not least, let's have a look at question D. So let me move it down. Let me rewrite the question. So, common denominator. Now, these two terms, these two factors are different. So, the common denominator will be just a product of them. So, we'll just write as x plus 2, x plus 3. Now, this one will be same, x plus 2 and x plus 3. As I said, we need to compare fraction by fraction, see what we need to multiply for each fraction. First fraction, compare denominator. I have x plus 2, but I need an extra x plus 3. So I'm going to multiply that by an x plus 3. So multiply that by x plus 3 in a bracket. Okay. For the second fraction, x plus 3, I need an extra x plus 2. So for the first fraction, x plus 1 times x plus 3. Second one, 2 bracket x plus 2. Next, because they have the same denominator, we can now put them all in one big fraction with a common denominator. First fraction, we can just expand it using like what you did for the starter question, just expanding double bracket like this one that you did, question 2. Okay, so expand it. So x times x squared plus 3x plus 1x plus 3. For this one, because it's plus, we don't need a bracket. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, everyone loves plus, everyone hates negative. Okay, no one likes being negative, right? And then simplify the like terms. So what do we have in here? X squared, 3x plus x, 4x plus 2x, 6x. 3 plus 4 plus 7 over x plus 2, x plus 3. Now I'll be asking, why don't we expand the denominator? We don't normally have to expand denominator. The reason being is, if the top numerator could be factorized, sometimes we can cancel down the factors. Okay, so it'll be much easier to cancel down with the factors form, like in bracket form, rather than on its own. This one is not factorizable because you can't do x plus 1, x plus 7. Yeah, you can't work it out. So this is the final answer. Here comes your first of many practice questions.
You serious?
Pause the video, have a go at the question. Remember, no pain, no gain with algebraic fractions. So pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. I know I've not got the best handwriting of all people, so please bear with me.
And ugly. So ugly.
This is the closest I could become a doctor. If you don't know what that means, it means I have a doctor's handwriting, which is just scribbling over the place. Anyway, so I've highlighted the answer for you. Check the final answer. If you got it wrong, check the step by step, especially the common denominator, which some students do find it difficult to find lowest common multiple of some terms. Okay, so there's the answer for A, B, and C. D and E, F and G, and H. All right. Next, it's all about quadratics. When we see a yellow or amber traffic light, what do we do?
Red light, stop.
Green light go, yellow light go, very fast.
Just kidding. Of course, when you see a yellow light, you should be braking as soon as possible. And when we see police, what do? We run. Of course, just kidding again. When we see a quadratic, what do? We factorize.
Common sense.
So, if you have a quadratic fraction to simplify, you just have to factorize it to simplify it. So you'll be asking, haven't we dealt with some quadratics before? Yes, we did, but we don't have to factorize anything. But in here, we do have to factorize it. Okay, so in order to simplify it, you need to factorize. Oh, it rhymes. So, first one, 2x squared minus 5x plus minus 3, you do have to factorize it. So, first step, we're going to factorize it. Okay, so you need a product to multiply, give you minus 6, and add to give you minus 5. I'm going to skip the explanation. I'm going to show you the workout in here. So we're factorize the numerator. Now for denominator, x squared minus 9, this is what we call difference of 2 squares. So it'll be x minus 3, x plus 3. Actually, let me bring this down in here. So then we have a fraction to simplify. We just have to put that factorized form in numerator. So 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 over x squared minus 9. Now it becomes 2x plus 1, x minus 3 in the numerator, denominator x plus 3, x minus 3. Now, because all terms in here, you can see these two are multiplied together, that means now we can simplify. So to simplify, x minus 3 is gone, so we're just left with 2x plus 1, x plus 3, and done. For question B, let me write the question. So here's a question. Now you can see the quadratics top, bottom, and also in second fraction. So if you can factorize anything, do factorize everything. So to make it, give you the best option, give you the best chance to simplify anything before we can add and subtract. So we're going to first simplify each of them. So we can simplify this one into x plus 1, x plus 2. This one, x plus 2 times x plus 3, subtract 3 over. This one, we can factorize an x out, so it'll be x plus 3. All right? Now, note, we cannot cross simplify anything because there's a minus in there. It's like 3, it's like actually 6 over 7 minus 7 over 8. The 6 and the 8 in here you cannot factorize. 7 and 7 you cannot factorize. So you can't factorize because there's a minus in there. All right? So you can't do that. Next, what we can do in here, however, is we can simplify the x plus 2. So x plus 2 gone, x plus 2 gone. Got left with x plus 1 over x plus 3 minus 3 over x times x plus 3. Maybe you can pause video, think about what will be the common denominator between these two fractions. Common denominator will be x times x plus 3. Now, because both have an x plus 3, but this fraction is lacking of an x, we'll just have to multiply this fraction by an x, which give us x times x plus 1 minus this fraction has the same denominator, so we can just write numerator as it is. The fraction line is too long, just trim it a little bit like a haircut. Next, expand a bracket in the top, then you'll have x squared plus x minus 3 over x times x plus 3. Now, we'll double check our answer by seeing if we can factorize it. So when you multiply, give a minus 3 and add to give 1. The only pair of numbers that multiply 3 is 1 times 3, but the difference is not 1, so therefore we can't factorize it, and that will be the final answer. Here's practice question 2.
Another one.
Pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. Now I've skipped the factorizing part of the quadratics. For example, question B, I did not show you how to factorize 2x squared plus x minus 3. Again, if you need help on factorizing, please refer back in the previous video about factorizing harder quadratics. Okay, so here's the highlighted answer you can check. And question D, that's the final answer. As I mentioned in the beginning of lesson, there will be 3 parts of this lesson. This is the second part about multiplying, dividing. However, things will be slightly easier than adding, subtracting. It will be less tedious. As you can imagine, with adding, subtractions, you always need common denominator, etc. You have done the work, so you would have known how tedious it can be. But with multiplying, dividing, things will get easier. For example, if you have to multiply and divide fractions, it'll be much easier than adding, subtracting fractions, right? So to simplify, to multiply, divide fractions, the best thing to do is to simplify it first. So A, 2x over 5 times 15 over 8x. The good thing about multiplying and dividing is that you can cross simplify. So anything in the top could be simplified with anything in the denominator. Okay, now let me show you an example again. 6 over 7 plus, let's say, 14 over 18. Now, even though 6 and 18 could be simplified, but because it's an add, we cannot simplify. So we cannot simplify. I mean, the 14 and the 18, obviously not. I mean, the 6 and 18, not 14 and 18, so we cannot simplify this. We cannot. Okay, so we cannot. But if we are multiplying 6 over 7 times 14 over 18, then we can, because 6 and 18, 1 and 3, 7 and 14, we can see the answer is just 2 over 3. Much simple. So same thing we're doing here. X and the X, gone. Actually, let me use a brighter color. X and the X. Okay, 2 and the 8. Right? Next, 5 and the 15. So we just have to collate everything we've simplified. So this is 1 times 3 over 1 times 4 is just 3/4. Part B, 4x plus 4. Again, I've got my little habit of writing things again. Now, in here, you do not want to expand the bracket, because once you expand the bracket, they're no longer multiplied together. So you do want to keep it in sort of this product form, put in two brackets. So the first one, we're going to simplify 4x plus 4 into 4, bracket x plus 1, over 6y times this one. We can factorize a y out, so y 3 times 3y plus, nope, my mistake, 3 plus y over 2 bracket x plus 1. So what can we simplify in here? First of all, the 2 and the 4. What else? Y and the y. And then, last but not least, the 2 and the 6. Now, can the 3 in here cancel out? No, they can't, because it's 3 plus y. Unless it's 3 plus y, then we can cancel out the whole thing. We cannot just simplify the 3 out. Cannot cancel down 3 out. So what are we left with? In here, oh, we also have x plus 1. I nearly forgot. X plus 1 gone. So on the top in here, we only got 1 left. In here is just 3 plus y. Denominator, that's the 3, and that's 1. So if I rewrite the answer, it'll be 3 plus y over 3. And that's the answer. We cannot simplify further because, as I said, it's a plus y in there, so you can't do anything. So question C. Dividing fractions. So what's the keyword for dividing fractions? KFC. Keep, flip, and change. So keep, flip, and change. So keep the first fraction, x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, if you are familiar, if you are fluent with simplifying algebra, you can simplify as you go as well. So for example, you can factorize this as you go as well. Over x times, I'm going to do the keep, flip, change first. So keep the first fraction, flip the second, change the sign. Next, we can go on and simplify, factorize each term. This one will be x plus 2 times x plus 3 over x times, we can't simplify anything in here. Next, we can do the simplify, cancelling out. X plus 3 as a whole bracket, they could go. X and the x squared is just x. So then, my final answer is, now you can see denominator is, everything's gone, so it's just out of 1. So there will be no denominator. The top will just be x times x plus 2. And you can leave it like this, or x squared plus 2x if you want to expand it out, but that's I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it, English. There. Question D. So, dividing, we don't like divide, but we like KFC, don't we? So, keep, flip, change. Keep the first fraction. Flip the second. And change the sign. I actually did change the sign in here. Next, we do factorize each individual term. 4x squared minus 1 is difference of 2 squared. 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. Hopefully you see that, you do see that 4x squared minus 1. Over this x plus 3, x plus 1 times this one, x minus 1, x plus 1. Denominator in here is 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. Once we break it into what we call the factor form, it's a simplifying feast. Let's dive in. So what can we simplify in here? I'm getting my napkin ready. 2x minus 1, and 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1. X plus 1, x plus 1. Is that all? Yes, it is. I'm actually kind of disappointed. I thought there would be more. So, final answer, in the top, 2x minus 1, x minus 1. Denominator, x plus 3, 2x plus 1. You can just live like this. You don't have to expand it out, okay? Just practice question 3.
Another one.
Question A, B, and C. Oh, A, B, and C? I thought there would be more. How dare I put fewer questions in the practice than the example? It should be the other way around. Anyway, you got away this time. So just question A, B, and C. Pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. So simplify question A and B, you get these answers. For question C, I did a keep flip change first, and then I factorized every single quadratic, and then all of a sudden, magically, everything just dissolves. And just gone, and your answer is not 0. When you cancel everything, it's just 1.
Another one.
Well done to survive until this part. So we're going to the last section of the lesson, which is about solving algebraic fractions equations. So question A, to solve an equation like this, when you have a fraction on one side, okay, what you want to do is you want to cross multiply. So a 3, there's no fraction, but if we have to put it over 1, then we can do a cross multiply, 1 times 3, and a 3 times x minus 1. So what it becomes is, left hand side, 1 times 3 is 3. I'll just put a times 1 here, just to make sure you understand where this 1 go. And 3 on the right hand side, times x minus 1. The fraction's gone. When it comes to solving an equation, fraction is a hurdle you want to get rid of, okay? It's like in the burger, you want to get rid of the pickles. No one likes pickles, or just me, I don't like pickles. The first time when I see a burger, I get rid of them. It's the same thing in here. Fraction, pickles, get rid of them.
Not taste good? Let me try this.
No. All gone. It tastes like feet.
Left side, 3. Right side, 3x minus 3. So minus 3 left hand side becomes a plus, so 6. 3x equals 6, x equals 2. Right? Part B. Question B, same thing. Again, when we see a fraction on both sides, what do? We cross multiply. So 8 times x plus 2, 4 times the 3x plus 1. So on left hand side, we're left with 8 bracket x plus 2 equal right hand side 4 bracket 3x plus 1. So expand the bracket on both sides, 8x plus 16 equals 12x plus 4. Collect the like terms, so bring the like terms to one side. 8x is smaller than 12x, so I'm going to bring to the right hand side, becomes minus 8x. The plus 4 will go to the left side, becomes minus 4. So then we're left with, on the left hand side, 16 minus 4 is 12. Right hand side, 12x minus 8x, 4x. 4x equals 12, x equals 3. Right? Part C. Part C. Now this time, we have two fractions. We cannot just simply multiply this on cross multiply. The reason being is you need to have one united fraction on left hand side. So essentially what you have to do is you have to simplify these two fractions, do the algebraic subtraction, what you've learned in part 1 of the lesson about simplifying these two fractions, and then we can cross multiply. So we're going to deal with the left hand side first. We need a common denominator. A common denominator will be x minus 5, x minus 4. First fraction, to get x minus 5 to x minus 5, x minus 4, we need to multiply by x minus 4. It's a negative, minus 2 times, so be careful, put a bracket. So this fraction, we need to multiply by x minus 5. And on the right hand side, we have not done anything, so we're going to leave it as equals 1. Simplify numerator, expand the bracket, so 2x minus 8, negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 5, a plus 10. Denominator, I'll keep it as it is for now. As always, usually when it comes to fraction in denominator, when you have x, you do not want to expand the bracket and make it ugly. So next, now 2x minus 2x is gone, so I can simplify that. 2x and minus 2x gone. Minus 8 plus 10 is 2. The next thing we can do is rewrite it nicer first, put it in a position where we're ready to cross multiply. Next, we can then cross multiply. So the whole thing in denominator, we can multiply the right hand side. When we say cross multiply, because the right hand side is just 1, you do not have to, you can just multiply the denominator right hand side because it's a 1 on the right hand side. So you have nothing to multiply to the left hand side. So 2 on the left, on the right hand side is 1 times x minus 5, x minus 4. This is now where we can expand the bracket, because otherwise we've got nothing to do other than playing with the brackets. So it's like you in an exam when you've got nothing to do after you finish the test. What do? You play with the stationery. X and x squared minus 4x minus 5x plus 20. So in here, 2 equal x squared minus 9x plus 20. I can see this is a quadratic. In a quadratic equation, in order to solve it, you need one side equals 0. So I'm going to bring a 2 to the right hand side. X squared minus 9x minus 18, plus 18, because minus 2, 20 minus 2 is plus 18. Next, in here, to solve it, we need to factorize it. So it'll be x minus 3, x minus 6. So x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 6 equals 0, x equals 3, or x equals 6. And these are the answers. Last part of the whole lesson is about practice.
Sigh.
So I have split into 2 practice questions for you, question 4 and question 5. Question 4 are the slightly easier equations to solve. Question 5 is where I've shown you the part C of the example, where you have 2 fractions where we simplify before you can work it out. So pause the video, have a go at both question or question 4 first. When you're ready for answer for question 4, play the video. Nice and easy to solve this equation in question 4. Here are the answers. Here is the final practice question. That's part A to F, so don't be too happy first.
Another one.
Pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answers, you can press play. Here are the answers for question 5. If you finished them, please give yourself a round of applause.
Well done.
You have done really well, even though they might be wrong, or some of them are wrong, or if you've done all of them correct, even better. Okay, so here are the answers. That's question C and D in here. For question D, I do have to say in here, x equals 0 is an answer. So when you factorize 3x, it's a special one, but x is 0 is an answer. Factorize 3x and make x equals 0 is an answer. E and F. All right, so hopefully you are a lot more confident in your algebraic fractions. You have done a lot of work today. Good job. Well done.